So, in my last blog, I talked a lot about fertility and not very much about menopause. So, I thought I would send you guys another one just with the main points, some bits that came from the talk, but a lot of it was stuff we already know from a Chinese medical perspective. So, when the menopause happens, it's because your estrogen is sort of peaking and troughing. Essentially, when you get kind of beyond 70, you have kind of below 10 picograms of estrogen, so really not much. So during this time, your estrogen is kind of trying to work its way down to that level, but of course it's spiking, and that's what's causing the hot flashes and all those other symptoms. So, what we really need to do is balance out those hormones. That's where sort of hormone replacement therapy comes in, HRT. Now, that can be really useful. If you've tried all the natural methods and they haven't worked, HRT can be useful. But the trouble is that we're really not good at testing those hormones, checking those levels of estrogen, progesterone, and then balancing them up accordingly. We tend to just put people on patches and send them away. If they're feeling fine, then that's great. But of course, there are other things going on in the background that are not being checked. And we know that heavy estrogen, if it's not being metabolized correctly, does cause to cancers. So, we really need to be a whole lot better about checking those levels. We're not very good in the UK really at doing that. So if you are somebody who wants those levels checked, then there are tests we can do. I can do them in my clinic, but also your GP might be willing to check those levels. They do fluctuate a lot. Really checking your estrogen levels can be tricky, so you need to make sure that you're using the same method every time. But HRT can be useful. I think also we're very, very quick to just remove those ovaries if people are having problems, hysterectomies, bad periods, those sorts of things. We're very quick at removing those. Now, you remove your thyroid, yeah, you can cope, but you would be given thyroxine probably to help you with that. You remove your adrenals and you're dead. But you remove your ovaries and nobody really does anything about it. Nobody really checks those levels. I know a lot of you are probably sitting there thinking, yeah, I've had a hysterectomy and I'm not sure that stuff's been checked. So, yeah, we really do need to be better at that. So really, the main tips I can give you to kind of managing menopausal symptoms at home is to really cut out caffeine. Now, caffeine spikes those adrenals. Adrenals are all linked in with that hormonal balancing system. So you really don't want to spike anything. The fact that, your estrogen is spiking and that's causing you the problems, don't go spiking those adrenals either. Heavy exercise, that sort of thing will also spike the adrenals, so you don't want to do that. Sleep, I know I talk about it a lot, but, a lot of people have this misconception that they're older and they feel as though they don't need as much sleep. That's really not true. You need a lot more sleep, especially if you're getting hot flushes in the night and then not sleeping. So, have an afternoon nap. There's no shame in that. And make sure that you get enough sleep. Also, for some of those ladies that have suffered cancers and been given tamoxifen, it's very, very difficult when that substance is in your system, and I do get that, and it's difficult as an acupuncturist as well to be able to treat somebody that's had that in their system, but it's certainly not impossible. And whilst we might not be able to remove those hot flushes completely, we can certainly help. So, don't think that because that's been a problem for you that there's no help out there. Cutting out dairy. Dairy is it does sort of spike your estrogen quite heavily. Organic dairy less so, but certainly, dairy is a bit of a difficult one. So cutting out dairy would be quite useful. I know people then think, oh, okay, I'll go on to soya milk. Soya milk also spikes those estrogen. So, almond milk, rice milk, those are the ones you want to be looking at. So I think for some of my ladies that have come in struggling with hot flushes, they've been quite surprised at how useful acupuncture is. There've been a few ladies that come in, have a few treatments, and they've worked their way through the menopause and they're feeling great. So, it is really powerful stuff. So if you're struggling, find an acupuncturist. because they really will be able to help you. So there were lots of other things that came out of the course, all sort of biochemistry stuff that's probably a bit heavy to talk about now. But if you want to come in and have a chat with me about that stuff, bother my brain with, with biochemical things to talk about, then do come in and have a chat about that. As I say, eventually I will be getting all this stuff written down, but for now I know you're finding these blogs useful, so I will keep them coming. All right, take care, guys.